Welcome to Is It Covered, where we break down real stories and answer the big question, is it covered? Hosted by father and son duo Bruce and Brian Chapman of the J.D. Chapman Insurance Agency. This podcast will help you navigate the world of insurance with stories, tips, and answers that really matter. From personal to commercial coverage, we've got you covered. Now, let's get started.
Welcome back, everybody, to Is It Covered, a podcast from J.D. Chapman Agency, where we explore different claims to determine whether they're covered or not. Today, we are going to be looking at some interesting claims having to do with summer. This one's going to revolve around dogs and what happens when a dog bites or injures someone. Keep in mind that not all claims are the same, that when you do have a claim, you want to report that to your agent or your company, and they will make a final determination. So with that being said, Brian, tell us all about today's claim.
Yeah, okay. So I know last time we covered the fire, right? So let's kind of continue with that same scenario where you've got a backyard barbecue going. Maybe you got everybody over for the 4th of July. Everyone's out having a good time. And you own a dog. You're at your own home, and you've got a dog that's friendly. But let's say that this dog decides that maybe a small child or somebody else looks like a tasty hot dog and decides to take a bite out of them. Or maybe even a little bit more of a unique situation. Let's say you've got maybe a lab and there's a child riding a bike or, just kind of mingling with the party, and that lab decides it wants to jump up and give him or her kisses. And, something happens where it looks like the dog's maybe attacking the person, and your neighbor sues you for some type of distress of the child or something like that. So essentially, this is a claim related to your dog causing either some type of injury or perceived injury to another party. So Kevin, I'm going to ask you on this one. How does a homeowner's policy respond to a dog situation like this?
Funny you ask. I've actually had a client that fell into the same exact situation where they're happy-go-lucky black lab, happy as all, knew everybody in the neighborhood, saw one of the neighbor boys riding his bike down the street and ran through the invisible fence. Ooh. And unfortunately jumped on the kid to give kisses and knocked the boy down to the ground, hurt his arm. And mom came out of the garage after hearing the screams of the kid and thought the dog was attacking her son. Oh, and unfortunately, there was a lawsuit, and the policy did pay out a pretty handsome sum for that situation, even though the dog was completely innocent, never bit the kid at all, but simply just jumped up and out of happiness and knocked the kid over and hurt his arm. There was a lawsuit that was presented, and there was a claim that was paid out. Oh, my goodness. Where does that fall? Is that like on your liability part of your homeowners, or how does that work? Yeah, so since a suit was brought up, this did fall under the individual, the homeowner that owned the dog's homeowner's insurance under their liability coverage. So they had, I think it was $300,000 in coverage on their policy, which is pretty average for today, and ended up having a claim that was actually settled and never even made it to court. And the insurance company felt that because of the incident, what happened, they caught it on Ring camera, and there was enough evidence, they ended up settling out of court and did end up paying out quite a large amount to the homeowner.
I always tell people with regard to liability, your house and your car is only worth so much, but the sky's the limit with liability.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that can be kind of some gray areas with,
for sure,
especially when it comes to lawsuits
and creative attorneys.
Yes, that's right. And I know before this episode we were kind of talking a little bit about New York now can't discriminate against dogs. Is that the correct discriminate against the breed? Is my question.
There used to be a blacklist of certain breeds, and as far as I understand, I know that is, you're not allowed to do that anymore. Right. So your typical blacklisted dogs, Rottweilers, Pit Bulls, Dalmatians, believe it or not.
Dobermans, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mastiffs.
Oh, yeah.
Those, I don't think that you can discriminate based on breed anymore.
I know you can't.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Yep. And I know that some insurance, it's good to disclose that you have a dog in the home, first of all, when you're talking to an agent, because some policies still can exclude any dog-related claims. Is that right? Am I right in saying that?
That's correct. There are dog exclusions. They all vary from company to company. So you really have to understand what the exclusion is that you're end up having to sign by taking the policy out. So you really got to read the language and figure out what's going to be covered and what wouldn't be covered in certain situations.
Right. Or work with your agent to say, hey, this is, do I have this type of coverage on my policy? And if not, is it something we can add or so on?
That's right.
And kind of just like we were discussing, we always call it the dog bite exclusion. However, Kevin, your scenario was not an actual bite. So you really need to read the form because maybe it's just a dog exclusion. And all those forms can be different. They're generated by the companies themselves typically.
Right. So I guess if we're going to sum this one up, I don't know if I can say I'm going to say the
I have one more
line.
thing to add.
Okay, go ahead.
A little twist.
Yeah.
So what if instead of a dog incident, it was a cat, that somebody had an angry cat or didn't know it had an angry side to it? And this happened to my daughter. She went to a family member's house and she was crawling on the floor and the cat didn't like it and just suddenly attacked her and left scars in her face and on the back
Holy
of her
cow.
head. And
That's not good.
so how would that be addressed by insurance?
I would imagine it's your pet that you're responsible for. So I would imagine that would fall under your liability similar to a dog, right? I don't know if there's a cat exclusion.
I've never heard of a cat exclusion. In my opinion, I think that would be covered.
I think that would be covered.
Yeah, I would agree. Or if the cat, I know we did an episode on this a while ago, if the cat runs out into the street and causes a vehicle to swerve and crash into a pole or something like that.
Yeah.
So essentially, have a good grip on your animals.
Yeah.
Safety first, especially if you've got a dog that likes to love and jump. Mine does for sure. I try to mitigate that when everybody meets until he kind of calms down so that I'm not placing an insurance claim.
Yeah, and just like what you said with dachshunds, I had a dachshund, and I was more afraid of him with little kids coming out, be it small dog syndrome, and he could potentially nip and bite somebody. And so you think of the larger dogs being the more scary dogs. Sometimes it's the smaller ones that can be just as aggressive.
You're absolutely right.
I've met some Chihuahuas that are absolutely brutal. They are completely brutal. So, Brian, what's the verdict?
I'm going to say on this one, it depends. It really depends on the policy that you have in place and if you have the right coverage or not on there.
Yep. That's the conclusion of another exciting episode of Is It Covered? If you happen to have any kind of claim scenario that you'd like us to go over, please email Brian at jdchapmaninc.com because we would love to hear some real world questions.
Perfect.
Thanks again. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Is It Covered podcast. To learn more about how JD Chapman can assist you with all your insurance needs, please visit our website at jdchapmaninc.com or call us at 315-986-4062. JD Chapman, we've got you covered. This podcast provides general information only. It does not offer or bind insurance coverage. Coverage cannot be changed or confirmed through this podcast, email, voicemail, or fax. Insurance only takes effect once confirmed by a licensed agent. For specific coverage details, please call us at 315-986-4062. All coverages are subject to the terms, conditions, and exclusions of the issued policy, which may vary by state. This podcast does not provide legal, tax, or financial advice. Please consult a professional for those needs. Links to other sites are provided for convenience. We don't control or endorse their content. Any claims scenarios discussed are hypothetical. Coverage decisions depend on the specifics of each case.